What's up, mechanics? Welcome to another episode of Tool Tuesday here at the VIM Tools headquarters. Now, you notice it's just me today. Michael is busy doing important stuff, I guess. So I'm going to show you a walkthrough of our full expo display box. So you guys can see kind of what a dealer would see when they're at an expo coming to talk to each one of us at the shows. Recently, we brought out these, not for sale, by the way, but recently we brought out these boxes and we brought them in just to show them or fill them as displays to bring them to shows because, as you know, the line has grown crazy big over the last 3-4 years to where tables with tablecloths and products on them now become a nightmare, especially because there's 4 of us selling, so we're all over the place grabbing one. So now we have 4 identical boxes that we ship to shows and could easily show customers in an organized fashion, one at a time. So I'm on one, Clay's on another, Mike's on another. Just makes it a lot easier to show each dealer and give them the attention they deserve and kind of look professional doing it. So let's start. In the top drawer, we actually have our line of ratchets, both bit ratchets, heavy-duty ratchets, pretty much everything in between you have in this top drawer. Obviously, the foam is cut out perfectly for it, but the main part about this drawer, because you see everything, you know a lot of this product. You know our ratchets. You have our heavy-duty ratchets and fixed heads, super strong. All of our flex head ratchets right here, 1/4, 3/8, half. The HDR 34K is this big boy. Now, this is an extendable up to 48-inch, 3 locking position, 48 tooth, 3/4 ratchet, and it is a heavy sucker. Like I said, 48 teeth, which means for 3/4, I mean, you can hear there's a lot more teeth in this, whereas traditional ones are 24, so you have double the degree, half the degree of sweep, double the teeth is kind of what the sales point on that is. So you're not really, because if you guys are using 3/4, you know to crack it one click, you're, in this case, you don't have to worry about that. But that head is detachable, and right now the kit comes with a indexing breaker bar as well as a ratchet. Brand new to the adapters, not part of a set yet, but will be eventually, is this wrench extender head. This goes on this handle, which allows you to hold up to 55mm wrenches. That is a big sucker. Don't want to mess with that guy. We also have a pry bar attachment. Boom, boom, boom. This also goes on the same head. So now that tool has multiple attachments to make it even more valuable and useful, especially on the job in the field. You have all of our bit ratchets here. What haven't you guys seen from this line? We've probably shown it, but it doesn't get as much love because it's overshadowed by another product. This is our HBR 10. So it's the same concept as the HBR 1046, which we sell a ton of because it's 1/4 inch bit drive by 3/8, 10mm ratcheting wrench. That is super popular in a dual flex head. We also have the fixed version that is the exact same thing, but fixed. So if you want some extra torque, this is the way to go. We have all of our HBRs right here. Like I've mentioned before, the new handles for the mini HBR 4s, now black, now to match our aesthetic because it was blue before. Took a while to change those out, but we finally did it. You have our mini ratchets. I mean, I freaking love these things. So you have the indexing 1/4 inch locking, which cool, but traditional. And then you have the 3/8 head on the 1/4 inch body. This is by far the most popular one, and they're pretty smooth. I don't know if you can hear that, but pretty smooth ratchet. That is the NRF 4 and the NRF 6. What else do we have to show you here? It's just going through this, you see so much product that we don't show on a weekly basis just because we always show new products. But these bad boys are very mature product. They've been around for much longer than Clay and me have been with this company. The DD2 is a 1/4 inch mini ratchet, 1/4 by 1/4 bit that you can take an extension on, use to get to anything that's offset, use it as kind of like a torque adapter, right? And this is the DD2. We also have the same design in the DD3, which is a 3/8 by 10mm. So there's a lot of parts of the line that people aren't as familiar with, but are still popular for us in the professional market that I think it's only fair that we show you, the end users, as well. Boom, 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 boom. I think we went through everything in this drawer. Now, same as the HDR 34K, the TRK 100 is the 1/2 inch version. You have the breaker bar and the flex head ratchet that go on this handle. That is how the set started. We also have a version that comes with a wrench extender that holds up to 42mm wrenches for that same handle. New adapters that we've recently released. Pry bar attachment for the 1/2 inch, same as the 3/4. And exclusive to the 1/2 inch is this bad boy right here. This is a chain wrench attachment that goes on the 3/4, or the 1/2 inch extendable handle. So now you have a 24-inch chain wrench. Now, with this system, obviously it's not the cheapest system out in the market, but the more attachments you buy for this system, the more valuable the one tool becomes. Also, the space savings, obviously not in this foam, but the space savings is a huge plus because this takes up a lot less space than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate tools, especially that extends or that is just fixed at 28 inches or whatever the longest one is. That is our 1/2 inch extendable system, similar to our 3/4. What do we got down here? Ooh, okay, so this drawer has all of our, not all of them, has a lot of our subsets. So right here you see all our Impact 50, excuse me, would be made out of the entire set of what you see here, but these are all the subsets. So you're going to have your standard SAE, your metric SAE, your triple squares, you have your Torx, your flats Phillips, and your, that's repeated, that's another triple square. You almost got me, but you didn't. You have all your subsets of your sockets from your SMS 400. You have all the SMS 600 subsets here, and this makes up the MMS 450. So you have all your subsets all in one convenient spot. It makes it easier for me to show dealers what they're getting in subsets. Here you have a few other sets. These are our universal joints. You have all the regular universal joints up here, whether it's 6-point, standard, metric, the whole shebang. These are, because we still have our traditional swivels. Nothing's crazy to them. They're still stubby. Traditional swivels, no spring loaded, no dual drive. This is a very affordable set that people have come to love. We also have the premium sets, you could say, of those, which are the dual drive spring loaded sets. So no more O-rings, no more electrical tape. You stick them in an 11 millimeter ratcheting wrench, especially our FRW11 that locks into these grooves. Now you have a super low profile swivel socket that is universal joint. We have them in 6-point metric. We have them in E-Torx. We have them in 12-point SAE. So we got options for you. That 12-point SAE is super important for your aviation mechanics and a lot of your motorcycle guys, especially the Harleys. This line right here, I think you guys know what these are. These are our Noras. I mean, these have been a hit for the last 8 months or so. Dealers automatically know what these are now. There's not too many dealers who don't know what they are because they have become so popular on the routes. You have two sets, smaller Nora 150 and the larger Nora 150 XL, ranging from 8 all the way to 19. This right here is our, I don't even know what you would call the combination of these sets. I guess you'd say one size fits all type sets. I'm not sure, but we have an 8x10, a 10x10, and a 13x10, which means that you have the same size socket in 10 different variations, all on a mag rail. So the 10 millimeter was obviously extremely popular. We got requests for an 8 and a 13. That is what you see here. 8, 10, 13. Now the 10 has a bunch of different stubby sockets, dual drive and non-dual drive, 3/8, impact, non-impact, the whole shebang, and especially the extra deep. Not a lot of people carry the extra deep in their 10x10 style sets. This right here is our IMPBH 100. This is a impact bit holder set. So you have spring or snap ring retention impact adapters, 1/4, 3/8, half, the same thing in a locking impact. That is a newer set as well. This is all of our impact sockets right here. We have them all displayed super easy, so you can see everything we have to offer for impact sockets. You have your quarter set, your 3/8 metric, your 3/8 standard, your rapid load wheel socket set. Right there. And that, for those, I mean, if you know the line, you know exactly what that set is. But that is the Impact 50. All 3/8 super stubby, half cut impact drivers, one piece. That is what I was explaining from here. This is the subsets. The full set comes in a blow molded case with all those pieces. You have Torx, Hex, standard and metric, Torx Plus, triple square, flats Phillips. The bottom one doesn't have anything in it. We went to here next, right? Boom. This is our socket, well, mostly, but this is our socket drawer. You have your 3/8 master set, the SMS 600. You have your 1/4 inch master set, the SMS 400. You have the 1/4 inch extra deeps in metric, the 3/8 extra deeps in metric, the 3-piece standard extra deeps. You have your magnetic spark plug sockets right here. Then up top, you have all your, like the Impact 50, all your stubby 1-piece half cut drivers, but this is the MMS 450, which is all 1/4 inch stubby. So you have the 3/8 version and the 1/4 inch version. Boom. I want to know what you guys think in terms of how this looks. I think it looks real cool, real sexy. It's really organized. I like it personally, but we did get some requests from dealers asking if they could just buy this foam to sell to customers, whether it's filled or not. I want to know what you guys think about buying just standalone foams to fill these drawers, because in the different variations of 72-inch boxes out there, how different are the drawers really in terms of depth and width? You're talking about plus or minus what? An inch, 2 inches? It's not crazy. So this could pretty much fit standard with a little bit of extra space, but I'm sure you could find what to fill that space with. Down here, you have all of our different extensions and adapters that we offer. You have a regular 1/4 inch 2-step wobble extension set right here. This is the 4-piece. You have the same thing in 3/8 right here. Now this helps because I know the part numbers, so does Michael, so does Clay. So without the part numbers, I'm able to describe what each thing is. Like this is a WEX 600, WEX 400. Whereas you have the master set with some of the extra goodies like the spring-loaded dual drive adapters, the dual swivel spring-loaded locking extensions that have 2 points of swivel. This 1/4 inch set right here is the MEK 400 for 1/4 inch, and then the 3/8 version is the MEK 600. You have your DSPA 100, which are dual swivel pinless adapters. These are the hand drive ones, non-impact. 2-piece set with 1/4 and 3/8. And then you have your impact set, which are dual swivel pinless as well. A lot of people think they look too bulky, but then once you actually open them up, you see they swivel there, and they also swivel here. So there's 2 separate points that you can use to swivel these. This is the DSPA 200 that make up this 3-piece 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 set. Boom. Right here you have some of our power drive universal extensions. So these are all UJ. You have a 1/4 inch UJ pinless. You have a 3/8, 1/4 inch bit drive, 5/16 bit drive, kind of everything you need right there. These are all spring-loaded dual drive adapters. So you have the dual drive system here that locks into the ring retention wrenches we have. Spring-loaded, no more O-ring, like I said. 1/4, 3/8, 1/2. This is the FFA 100 that goes right here. Here, you're going to have your WSA 100. This stands for wobble socket adapters. I know I've shown it before, but I'm going to show it again just so we are all on the same page. I'm going to grab the 3/8. These, you're going to grab a 14mm wrench. Bingo. You hold this, put this in here. Now you have a super low profile ratcheting wrench that get into a tight spot. Or if it's a fixed box end, you have a breaker bar so you don't have to destroy your ratchets anymore. That is what this is meant for. Because they look funky, don't they? Not a lot of people know what they're for. So that is an insight to that. But this is our full wrench set drawer. You guys know we have thin wrenches. We have your metric thin wrenches, the smaller ones. We have the larger set. That's a 5-piece. Same thing in the standard. You have your smaller and your larger. One thing that people don't know about, no, better said, people don't remember because we have so many new products. The BB500 is a brake bleeder set of wrenches that look a little wonky but are super popular for us. One side is used to bleed the brakes with the wheel on, while the other is while you take the wheel off. You can bleed it with that side. So that's what the 2 different angles are for. BB500. You also have an eTorx wrench set right here that you can see. Like, these are unsung heroes of ours because they're popular, but we don't talk about them enough because they're not new and exciting. They're just a part of the line that have been so strong for so long that they kind of go under the radar for us. But for someone who isn't familiar with the line, especially back in the day, now you know we have them. We talk about all of our adapters for the wrench extenders. People forget that we still have the WE15. This still sells really freaking well with the comfort grip handle, but because we have so many new different versions of it, we don't talk about this enough. WE15s are still alive, still available, still working just as well. You have another drawer full of wrenches. You have 2 different sets here because it ranges from 8 all the way up to 19 in your extra long reversible spline, 1 head flex, 1 head fixed, deep box ratcheting wrench set. You have the DFXL 100A, which is 8 to 14, or 8 to 13, I'm sorry. And then the DFXL 150, which is your 14 all the way up to 19. You have that available in 2 separate sets. You have your ratcheting flare nuts down here. Now these are 3 separate sets. RFW 100, RFW 150, RFW 200. So you range all the way from 8 all the way up to 32 millimeters in a ratcheting flare nut set. How that works, let me grab one from here. So to show you guys how those work, for those of you who don't know, you have this wrench here. You lock this open with that little fin, and that little peg right there is going to go on over a line. You go down onto that nut, and when you push that in, it's going to close automatically. So you're going to fit perfectly around that nut. And now you can notice it bites on all 6 flats. Traditional flare nuts, traditional flare nut wrenches only bite on 4. So it's going to bite 6 ways, and then because it's spring loaded, it's going to click and ratchet. So now you effectively have your ratcheting flare nut wrench, and that's what these RFWs stand for, ratcheting flare nut wrench. Traditionally, when you have spring tension involved with the ratcheting mechanism, that spring ends up getting loose, and that's what ends up making the product fail because it just stays open. Because the design of this allowed for metal to overlap, it's metal on metal is where all the tension is being pushed onto instead of the spring. So you don't have to worry about this becoming loose or the spring becoming defective. In this drawer, you have all your screwdrivers. You have the extra long torque screwdrivers with the gecko grip. I mean, I love these freaking things. These grips actually conform to your hand. The more that you push on them, the more that you are torquing onto them, the more it grips. It's a pretty cool design. The extra long torques are used mainly on Euro door panels. So those BMW shops go crazy for these, and those Audi shops. You have the shorter torque screwdrivers as well as your traditional flats Phillips set, which only is. So you have your traditional flats Phillips set, which only has 1 flat in it because, as you guys know, they're not used as much in cars these days, but we put a striking cap conveniently on the top because that is exactly what you're going to do with it. So we made sure we went ahead and did that. These blades are S2 steel. They're super strong screwdrivers. They hold up the test. Beat them up. See what you guys can do with them. Our impact drivers, which are, by the way, double the standard weight in this industry for an hand impact driver, allows you to move double the momentum through the impact driver when you're trying to break something loose. And the set comes with all these impact bits, all lifetime warranted, of course. These are specialty screwdrivers and picks. You have your IRS 100 here, which is your ratcheting screwdriver set. You have it locked here, ratcheting, reverse, and now you have a bit driver here. So you use all these bits right here with this one bit driver, or you want to use a stubby one, you could also stick them right here if you have a low profile spot you got to get into. Now this head works with all these blades right here, as well as any of the bits, and that comes in the IRS 100. You have your pick and O-ring set right here, which most people have pick sets. Not a lot of people have the spoons in their pick sets. This is our version of it. You have a bunch of spoon attachments for those O-rings. And then our super specialty mini screwdrivers. You have nut setters, torque screwdrivers, and then flats and Phillips. And I think that is everything that I have to go over. So that when a dealer comes into our booth, this isn't normally on the toolboxes, but I will talk about it. These are our new line of coolers. We have a backpack version and a standalone version. The backpack version has been a really popular one. This is a 45 can cooler. As you can see, get in there. I mean, it's got a lot of space in there. For hiking, outdoor stuff like that, this is perfect because it's easier to carry with the backpack straps. You got the padding here so you don't get too tired. You have the dry pockets for your phone, stuff like that. That's why this one's so popular, but a special place in my heart is held by this one. Why? This one right here is a 35 can, so it's a little bit smaller, but the strap in it can easily be placed on these hooks, and then the other end of that strap goes on my bathing suit loop while we're out boating so that I can jump in the water with this, and this floats behind me. So I'm walking around the sandbar or wherever in the water. Floating behind me conveniently is my cooler full with everything I need for the day, so I'm not getting back on that boat until I am buzzed and someone else is driving me home. So those are 2 coolers that are now out. You have your barbecue blazer, which is the BBQ E1. This bad boy, as summer's not approaching, summer is here. It is hot, I'm sweating, and I'm inside. This is butane refillable. You have 4 different intensity settings, continuous flame if you want it. So you can easily light up whether it be a barbecue, a bonfire. If you're hunting and there's wet wood, this will definitely get you out of a bind. Once that red ember starts flaring up, you hit it with the blower, which is run by 3 AA batteries right in the bottom, butane right there, and you're easily able to blaze that fire up to get it going. Really, get a fire started easily and not embarrass yourself in front of friends and family. But that is our toolbox tour with some extra goodies on top that we added in for you. Thank you for tuning in. I know it was a long one. I literally talked the entire time without stopping. Apologize for that, but tune in next time. Thank you very much. Peace.